I guess I lost it. I was talking about women being raped in the Middle East. How I wasn't doing a very good job because I was more counting on eating. I had eggs, scrambled eggs, potatoes, biscuit with raspberry jam, and sausage. But anyway, what I was talking about was I was watching this thing on Vice News where they were showing this lady in Baghdad or someplace, and she was Arabic, and they were showing how the Arabics, you know, they really think it was okay for them to rape women, just like they think it's okay, like in some parts of Africa where those Africans think it's okay to kidnap and rape. But what I was saying is there's a movie it was made in 1939, I believe. It's Ladies of the Night, and it shows like the Germany, Japan, America, and maybe the Brits. But anyway, how they was studying on how to use women and how to have to objectize them. But in one of the stories, like the mother kills her daughter after her daughter gets raped, and they found out like a lot of women, they ended up blowing up the whole hospital. It was in a hospital, and this is their way to win the war. And they also found out at that time that using prostitutes as a way of finding out information was wrong. Using a husband and wife team, even especially if they have a baby in it, leaves them open to be able to sit and be around a lot of places, hang around places, make friends, and to work with the right person, and they have something in common in a family. And the wife will get friendly, and also if this woman was educated, she is able to, especially in the first early developmental years, give the child the right type of schooling and education and information, that it needs to survive in a capitalist society. And that means they're usually more advanced in reading, math, and in the science, to where their child stays ahead because, the mother has a vested interest. You know what I'm saying? And they found these people generally liked each other, and they stayed married. And I think in the United States modern time, they could get a divorce. But anyway, after so many years, but most of them didn't. They had too much common. But like I see today with religious groups, like with your Catholic preachers raping our young boys, with our Protestant and other type of religions doing the same thing, raping little girls, little boys, and then with the Muslim raping any woman, and they have all these excuses like the way she dresses, the way she does this. All these are excuses so men do not have to be responsible for their behavior. Because I was listening to this one Muslim guy on that Vice News. He was talking about, was the policeman. He was talking about, well, if you're not dressed properly, if you're not doing this proper. Well, what if you're home with your wife and you got daughters and you got a grandma and an auntie? So you know what I'm saying? So like. I know Muslim women, they don't wear the garb up in the house. So you get excited up in the house. What do you have sex with everybody? What's it, a free-for-all? So their logic doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? If you say something and you put it that you don't like somebody and you put a situation that person's in and you try to empathize and put yourself in that situation, how would you respond? Would you like to be, this, that, and the other? But what I'm saying is, it is a way that they could use to keep them uneducated, to keep them going to war, keep them not comprehension. Because if you don't have the woman behind raising the kid, because you gotta understand, humans are the only mammals that die in childbirth. You know what I'm saying? We make it look easy. You know, a lot of these women are flipped or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Before their 6 weeks is up and they stop bleeding, they'll go ahead and have sex with the guy because they're worried about he's going to run off with somebody else. I say good riddance. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, the father, like they always say, oh, he need a father. Sometimes the father fuck up the kid worse or unintentionally. You know, because believe it or not, if a man's running around with everybody else, after a while, well, I know back when I was younger, all the women would be like single, but wasn't because like with me divorced, they were single over they were widowed. They get widows like in their 50s, and they're always used to say, you know, that these women must have killed their husband. You know, they're ready to throw you over for a 20-year-old. You know, and back then take all their money and leave you nothing and think that, you know, that's okay, you don't deserve it, that you're the one. They're getting played over here in the sex industry, you know. Yeah, and they, anyway, forget about their kids, forget about other obligations. Cause to the kids, you are mom, you are dad, you are their whole world, you are everything. You know what I'm saying? But the only thing you show is that you're a sexual fiend. So that's why sometimes it's not good, or the things they say, it really hurts a kid. When, but I think right now that with the war there, the war, it wouldn't have a war in this Africa and those other places if they came to realize that with half the population, would you only have men, you only have half your strength. You know what I'm saying? They want these women to stay in the house, don't go any place or do anything. Well, why don't you just give them a little area, a city? You know what I'm saying? Just have the women way over there. And I guess, you know, they could meet their husband on Friday and he could come over to where they're at. No, they got in between the third place they have to meet at. You know what I'm saying? Don't even have women in that area. You know, if that's, you know what I'm saying, if the men can't control themselves, if they're so impulsive, if they, you know what I'm saying, that basically we have a non-thinking nymphs running around. It's sad. It's sad, you know. And I've known women in the past. There was like a lady that I guess she already had 6 daughters. They didn't have no son. She was the husband. This was when I was a little girl. Her husband wanted a boy. But anyway, she had another little girl. So she had been in the hospital for 5 days, and he was like, shit, and bitching and stuff, and I already got these other girls to take her. Well, when she finally came home, and he came back from work, he goes, what is that I smell? And so the story goes, he goes, what is that I smell? It's like, everybody smells something cooking anyway. It's strange. And she goes, this is your dinner. You know, and she opened up the oven, and the baby, she had cooked the baby. Anyway, that's when I was in New York. She ended up in Bellevue, and he ended up raising all those 6 girls. And the moral of the story is, as long as we put women at the least, and we have been given by God the most important job, and that is to birth and raise these kids. So not only are these Arabs, they're disrespecting women, but they're disrespecting Allah, they're disrespecting God, they're disrespecting, I don't care what religion you are. You're disrespecting Moses, you're disrespecting Adam, you're disrespecting everybody. You're disrespecting your own mother. You know what I'm saying? And at a time where we have a heightened of Ebola, HIV, and other diseases transmuted through body fluids and sex and whatnot, I think it's time that we do help these men understand that you are responsible for your action, and your actions is causing you to go. For for you to have some stupid ass fucked up countries that look all blown out.